All right, 58094 Board Forum. I would just like to use this time to express sincere thanks to Raylene for all the years that she has served on the board, and to Crystal for her term on the board. We appreciate your service very much, and thank you for being a part of the board. Anybody else, anything for board forum?
I think you covered it.
58095, consent agenda.
Madam President,
Yes, ma'am.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as printed.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as printed. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. 58096, staff and student recognition. We'll start with the Bickerdike Bunch. And I think they're going to fill the horseshoes, so if we want to see them from the front, we can move to the front.
Yeah, I sure will.
No, they're going to come through and fill the horseshoe. You're going to.
No, they wanted to be part of us.
Ava.
Oh, Ava, you went the wrong way.
Go around that way.
Oh, this way. Come this way.
Yeah, just cut down through.
And then go that way.
Excuse me.
That's where she was going. This way. Yeah, this way.
Oh, I see Miss Kelton.
Come this way.
Miss Kelton.
There you go.
Miss Kelton.
What's Miss Payne doing?
Don't worry about it.
She always comes to these meetings.
All right, this is the Bickerdike Bunch Children's Choir. This year we have 27 students, all ages in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. If you're in 4th grade, will you raise your hand? 5th grade and 6th grade. We are missing 2 today, but we have been working very, very hard. We work 1 time a week for an hour after school, and these kids are dedicated. They take care of each other, make sure that you're a family. Do not do that, please. Thank you. And I am very, very proud of them. Before we sing, we did have 6 awesome singers go to KMEA on Saturday. When I call your name, please raise your hand, and hopefully I don't forget anyone. Ava Klein, Liz Bonert, Anna Shook, Kenny Hull, Emmett Suki is gone, and Lily Obermeyer. So, with that, we are going to sing Jingle Bell Dash. All right, here we go.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bob to ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight, as we are dashing bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow, we're in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we love to go, we're laughing all the way. The bells are about to ring a ling to make our spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Dashing, the snow is falling, dashing, the trees are falling, dashing, there's quite a flurry dashing, but don't you worry, dashing, the wheels are dashing, and dashing, and jingling, dashing through the snow. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing, 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 dashing through the snow.
Also have a couple extra spots left for Jinglegrams. If you are interested, follow the link on our Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And then we'll move on, Riley's not here. We'll move on to staff recognition.
Do you need a minute here?
No.
All right, this month our excuse me, classified staff member is Alicia Woods, if she would come forward, and our licensed staff member is JC Robinson, if she would come forward. Goodness, I have to have somebody else read this.
It's making you cough. Is that not making you cough?
What?
Is that paper making you cough?
Yeah, I think so. I'm allergic to it. All right, so Alicia's our classified staff member, and she's been working for USD 407 since 2019, where she started, or at that time she started out as a substitute para. She worked as a sped para for 3 years, transitional kindergarten assistant for 1, and is now in her 2nd year as a title para. Alicia is very dependable and builds strong relationships with the students. She is the friendly face that greets all of our kindergarten students at the door in the morning to start their day off right. Alicia shared that her favorite part of her job is working with kids and watching them grow in their learning.
Wow.
We're so lucky to have her at USD 407 in Simpson, and a thank you for all you do. Alicia was nominated by a couple parents, and this is some of the things they had to share. She greets all kindergarten students at the door and she knows all their names, gives them a smile and a high five and a hug. She always asks them something about their night or an activity they did. Then the next one said, Miss Woods also goes above and beyond to support parents during morning drop-off. She reassures families, especially those with children who may struggle with separation from their parents, that their child is in good hands. Her calm, caring presence helps parents feel confident their children will be cared for and guided to the right place. And lastly, the last parent wrote, through her kindness, consistency, and dedication, Miss Woods makes a meaningful difference for students, families, and the school community each day. She is truly deserving of this recognition. So thank you.
Okay, and our November licensed staff recipient is JC Robinson, and JC's currently in her 3rd year of teaching at Russell. She is an incredibly positive educator who is a great team player. She shared that during her time here, she's felt privileged to work alongside such a dedicated and creative individuals who care so deeply about children and families in our district, that our district serves. She said that the best part about her role at Simpson is having the opportunity to inspire young learners to become the best versions of themselves every day. We love having JC with us at USD 407 in Simpson, and thank you for making a difference every day. JC was also nominated by a parent. Ms. Robinson provides many activities for learning and fun in her classroom. She engages with each student and accommodates their character traits for success each day. She shows care and compassion in moments of need and redirects students for them to get back on track. Ms. Robinson has great communication with families of upcoming events and activities. She's easy to communicate with for individual student needs and for parents as well.
I think you'll be fine.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Smile right here for me. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
You're Alicia and you're JC?
Yes.
And what do you teach?
Kindergarten.
Oh. Okay. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. And don't blink. Hang on. Hang on. Let's just saying in there. Okay. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. And don't blink. Okay.
Here, I have the real checks here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The other one will feel free to drink.
No, not quite.
All right.
Yes.
We're nosy.
Yes.
We're nosy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we move on, anybody that's listening out there, if you know anybody deserving of these awards, please nominate them. Go to the district website and find the link, or KRSL, the link's on their website as well. So I know we have a lot of great educators in our, and classified staff members in our education system, and that all need recognition, so help us out, please.
All right. 58097, public forum. Nobody signed up yet? Okay. 58098, curriculum corner. Kinsey Volk and Brooklyn McKenna, communication boards in concert. Kinsey Volk and Brooklyn McKenna, communicate.
We're gonna go this way.
What grade?
All right. One thing that I have really struggled with is helping my nonverbal kids. Try to come up with a way for them to be involved in music, and I've done that this year. I'm so excited about it. So if you'll go to the next slide. What communication looked like before this year? A lot of it was most of them dancing and concert music, or just kind of enjoying the music. I call it vibing is the best way to put it. But there's big barriers of can I help my students who struggle with communication devices, but can't actually talk to their peers one-on-one like we can, but they can. And so I found a way to use that with their AAC devices, and I actually brought Brianna here because she is way more skilled in that department. So if you want to talk for the next slide, please. I know, put her on the spot.
So AAC devices stands for Augmentative Alternative Communication. It is basically an iPad with an app on it, and it allows them to communicate through pressing different symbols. And when you press a symbol, it verbally communicates through the device. So we use them with several, or with all pretty much, of our nonverbal students within the school district. And they look like what Brooklyn has around her right now.
We call them their words. So, if you'll go to the next one, please. Why AAC devices matter in music. First, it helps with timing and rhythm and turn taking, builds confidence through successful communication, and gives every student a meaningful musical role. So, with that in mind, next slide, I found this TikTok that was like probably one of the best finds I've ever found. TikTok can be a way to waste time, but it's also how I do my best learning. And so I found this TikTok through Ellsworth Sings, which is a choir director out in California. And he talked about how it's 2025, why aren't all of your students in choir? And I knew right away that had to be something that I could do, because I already had 3 in a concert last month, and I have 2 more coming up, 3 more coming up in the spring, plus Christmas caroling. So this is perfect. And so I talked with Brianna. I also talked with Megan Klein, who also works with our nonverbal students at Simpson, and I tried to figure out a way that we could do that. So next slide. I thought this would be like a whole day event. We did this through a PD work day. It was reading that they were working on, so I asked if I could skip out so I could work on this. It took maybe an hour or an hour and a half to do all 4 songs for their concert. Very quick. But Mrs. S helped me with figuring out how I could record, how they could be set up, so that would work great. Next slide. Go back one. So I had 3 students who used AAC devices. As soon as I got them done in mid-October, I had them practicing right away. Mr. Hoy's room heard Moana a lot. And you know what? I'm okay with that. So my 3 students, here's one that's pictured that my dad took, and it looks like he is doing whatever on his iPad, but he's actually singing with his device. And he actually, cool thing about this, he has actually never sung out loud until he had his AAC device singing with him.
Really cool.
That's why I do it. So it made him feel part of a song or an ensemble, and the kids that were in their classrooms also got to see that too. They also thought it was very weird when Miss Volk's voice was singing with them when she wasn't singing with them. So that was also really, really cool. So I brought Brooklyn here, who is one of our awesome people that uses our device, and we wanted to show you how we used it in our concert. Which song should we do? Which song? Pick one. Do you want Moana, Cars, or Toy Story?
I'm voting Moana. I like Toy Story.
Should we go with Moana? Yeah. Okay, can you press? Your turn. Can I help you? Yeah, let her help. Okay, are you ready? Let me see it. There you go. You're okay. Ready? Push.
See the line where the sky meets the sea. It calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind on my sail on the sea stays behind.
Can I use your words for a second? So one thing that I loved about, thank you, good job, Brooklyn. One thing that I absolutely loved was not only are they having a voice, but they are also tracking it left to right as you would read music. It has pictures to help them know what the words are, and also has them singing their part. It's not the melody that you heard, it was grade 4, which had the harmony in Moana. So that was what I really, truly loved about all of these. And like I said, it was super easy. We recorded it on one device, then we could share out to the other devices, and it was done. Pretty simple. Next slide, please. So, overall, the kids in the classes thought that was the coolest thing ever. I did have one student that rebelled against every other song except for Moana, and would play that while we did sing every other song. So that was one barrier that we did have to cross. But overall, it's been very positive, and just having them have their own voice and normalize their AAC devices, because the kids don't really know what they are. They know it's their words, but they've also been seeing it as speaking words, not anything else. So plan on using this for caroling. I actually did that today in about an hour for 5 songs for 3 iPads, and I plan on using it in our kindergarten and through 2nd grade concert in March. So, any questions? Overall, I'm very excited.
So who's more
Sorry?
excited?
You're gonna use it in the class in upcoming concert?
I am going to
In
be
the class-
using
in
it,
class in
yeah.
upcoming concert.
Yeah.
I asked who's more excited about you or them?
I was very excited. I think we had like a whole like, ooh, this is so cool. Every time we finished a song, it's just very very cool.
Hey, Kenzie, could you use that with a brush or walker?
Find a device. I'll help you. Yeah. No, I showed one of the girls, and I probably shouldn't have done it this early, but I showed them that they had Christmas carols on one of the iPads, and they had to take the iPad away because they were trying to sing while they were trying to work. So, sorry, but not sorry. I'm helping. So, overall, thank you.
Well, thank you. That's wonderful. All right, letter B, Parents as Teachers Program Update.
Do you live in Wilson?
Yeah.
What the?
Hey, thanks, Brooklyn.
Thank you.
All smiles.
Hi, I'm Christine Weber, and I work with Early Childhood Connections in Hayes. And I just want to say thank you for having a collaboration with us with the Parents and Teachers program. And so I wanted to give you an update of what we're doing, how we're working with our program here in USD 407. And so right now, our numbers are a little bit lower than I'd like them to be, but we're working on that. We have 4 children that we're serving in 3 families, so 1 family has 2 children. And we just hired, part of that little challenge we've had is we had a parent educator, Pat Hammerschmidt, who was serving Russell. She retired, unfortunately. Miss her a ton, but we were very excited to hire Ashlyn Rasmussen. I always say her name wrong because she started in September. So she got her training done, she's ready to go, and she's been working with all the new families and things like that. So she used to be with the Extension Office, so she has a lot of connections here in Russell, which I'm very excited about. I think it'll be a great way to help with recruitment for our program. So I'm very excited about that. But I also want to just give you a little bit of knowledge. I know you have been told a little bit about what our program is. That's why you have us. But I used to be a parent educator way back in the day before I was a coordinator and a preschool teacher. And so I really do have a passion for it. I think it's a very huge benefit for our families when they start from the very beginning. And you can help the parents learn how to be parents, because our children don't come with instruction manuals. No. And it's challenging, no matter, I have 5 children, every one of them is different. And I was a parent educator, and I had a parent educator of my own, and it was just wonderful to have that person to help me, even though I know I have the knowledge, but it's just different when they're on their own. And so, one of the things I actually just learned as well, which I thought was like, and I've been doing this for a while, I was like, whoa. By the age of 3, 80% of our brain is already developed. So that 0 to 3 time frame is massive. And when our parents, sometimes are struggling, we're their coach, we're their cheerleader, we're their person just beside them, helping them to become better parents and be the best parents they can be. And that's really what our program is about. And I know we have Early Head Start too, so we do this a lot. But I really am working hard, and Ashlyn's going to be working really hard to beef up the program here in Russell, so that way we can get more families. Because my hope and my vision, I guess, is when we can get more parents in there, we will help them be ready for school. Mm-hmm. Because when the parents are stable and they feel confident about doing what they're doing, and the children are working all those skills from the very beginning, which is what's going to help them with self-regulation and get them ready for all those academic things, because if they're not self-regulated and those types of things, those other things can't come. Fine motor, all those types of stuff. So my hope and my goal is that we can get more of those numbers here this next semester, so that way we can really help you guys, help your families, so that way they're ready for school. So with that, do you have any questions for me about anything? I do have flyers if you want anything that have our new parent educators' names, that way you can share them with your families, and hopefully we can, you know, keep working on building those numbers up. That's my goal.
So you work with children birth to age 3?
So actually, the Parents and Teachers program is really awesome because it starts from prenatally. So as soon as they find out if they want to sign up, it's a universally access program, so there's no qualifications. They just have to be in your district. So that's the only criteria that they have to meet. And have a child prenatally all the way up. We will serve them as long as they would like to be in our program until they are entering kindergarten. So they could be 5 for half a year, but then once they go into kindergarten, that's when they're done. So they can be even in child care, they can be in preschool, somewhere else, that type of thing, and we can still serve them. And if they were in our Head Start program, we probably would not serve them, like if they did transition to that, because they're already getting home visiting that way. That'd be the only time that we sometimes will like step away, because they're already getting home visiting from our other part of our program. Because that does happen sometimes, we will transition them that way, or the parents end up qualifying. But once they're in, they're in. One of the other things that we're working on is, once we get families from Russell, that is Ashlyn's first priority. So once they get those, she will be taking that family, so we can get those numbers up. So, any other questions that you might have?
I
Is
take
there
one of
a-
your flyers.
Oh, yes.
I was wondering if you could put those flyers at the city office. They have that
Oh.
whole wall of forms and things there. What about the county health office?
And I know Ashlyn said she was gonna go to like a weekday or that type of thing, so she'll be taking some there
Okay.
too. I will mention the city office, because that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We also have this information on our website. You might check to see if I need to make any updates.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I was just in there the other day and I don't know if there was stuff.
You will let me know.
We keep them in our Simpson workroom too, because that's where we see a lot of our youngest families.
Yeah.
And she also came, I think she mentioned, to our back to school
I
bash.
did.
And then we're doing the radio.
We
And
are
then
in January.
And then we talked about like kindergarten roundup and our screenings and all those things too, to try to
Yes.
help.
I know Ashlyn, after, I know she's scheduling some days, I'm not sure which day, when it is, if it's before break or after break. She works 20 hours right now. When we hired her, we had to drop her down in hours, unfortunately. So that is something that we have to manage, but she's scheduled to come here to Russell for a day or half a day or whatever it is, or a couple days to just work on recruitment. So she's very, very excited. When we got her, I was like, she's very excited, because she was like, I know these people and this people. I'm like, yes. Because I feel like just having that trust and knowing who we are will be huge in getting some of those families too.
Sure.
Because home visiting is a little thing. It's like, we're going into their home, so we want that trust of, we're here to help them, not to judge, not to do any of those things. We just want them to be the best they can be as a parent. So, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, 58099, discussion items, letter A, facility priorities and capital outlay plan.
Yes, included in your packet is the priority list. Over the last couple months, I've given you the documents for you to rate them or rank them. I averaged all of your rankings, and this is how they came out. I did color code a few of them. The ones that are highlighted in yellow, the reason they're highlighted, they are included in the scope of the work for the March bond election. So if that were to pass, those would come off as completed projects. The one highlighted in red should have been completed yesterday. We did the high school previously, and they were set to do Bickerdike and Simpson Saturday, which is the next agenda item, so I kind of ruined that one for you. One of the things I'm going to do with this document, I'm meeting with RCACF and some other groups next month. I will be sharing this priority list with them, so when they're thinking, hey, what can we do for the district? Is there something we can do, such as the curtain project? that they have an idea of what our district priorities are, and they don't even have to ask us for that information. The other part of the agenda item is the capital outlay plan. I think that that's important, that these go hand in hand, so we have built it into that same spreadsheet as a tab. So when we're visiting about future projects and budgeting, they're in the same place. Any questions about this document?
The only thing I was looking at was, and I know we're gonna be discussing it here in just a little bit, but the playgrounds, to me, should have more priority than the parking lots.
And that's a question I'm gonna pose when we get to that
Oh,
topic.
sorry, I
Yep.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
I mean,
Any
there
other-
used to be chasms that would swallow your whole foot in those playgrounds. I don't know if they're still there or not, they are. Okay,
Yeah, they try to fill them every summer, but
well, they're bottomless pits
Yeah.
probably, so, yes. Just thought I'd,
You surveyed the board members?
Okay.
You surveyed the board
Yes.
members?
Yes. All right, anything else on that topic? All right, letter B, rekeying exterior doors. I think we've already addressed that, right?
yeah, the work should have been completed on Saturday. We have our district office team meeting tomorrow, so I'll check in with Neil.
Okay. All right. Letter C, roof repairs.
Over Thanksgiving break, All Weather Roofing was here. They started the repairs on the south side of the gym. They also did the guttering around Bickerdike Elementary. So they're making great progress right now. And then over Christmas break, they are scheduled to be at Russell Junior Senior High School as well, so.
what about, I'm just gonna keep asking questions. What about the gym here at the district office? Because I was here the day it was raining during a junior high girls basketball game, and you and Jay were trying to,
Running around with buckets.
yep, you were.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it was
hoping
bad.
that the repairs they did on the south side and when they get the guttering up,
Okay,
that stops.
okay.
The one place we really need to keep monitoring is where the new addition, the west wing,
Uh-huh.
meets the old. That's where we've always had the leak. But during that game,
Mm-hmm.
somehow it was leaking everywhere else in places we haven't had leaks, but it wasn't leaking there.
Huh.
So
That's weird.
that was kind of surprising. Usually when we get snows and it sets on top, that's where we get most of the
Mhm.
moisture
Butts up
coming
against
through.
it,
Yeah. My biggest fear, again, is ruining that basketball court. We have some places that are in pretty rough shape currently. I don't want it to get any worse.
So are they gonna look at that area between there to make sure that the flashing's not damaged?
They've had multiple people up there. I mean, we've had contractors. I'll check with Neil. I know we've talked about it. Even a couple weeks ago, we talked about it, so.
I think that's just been an ongoing problem since I was there, a long time ago. Letter D, CTE Modernization Reserve Grants.
So we received $18,447 for, to start a phlebotomy class, which will start in the 26-27 school year. However, this is for equipment to start that class, so we will need to expend this money by May. But we received that, and there's some consumables that they wouldn't cover, but I've found another source for that, so we should be good to go on that. So we
Madam
just need
President.
approval.
Yes, ma'am?
I move that we accept the $18,447 from the Perkins for the phlebotomy course for 26-27.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the $18,447 of grant for phlebotomy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. Letter E, football and baseball stadium lighting.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the date right in my mind, but I believe it was May 19th of 2023 when we had the Hellstorm, 24. We previously discussed this and we decided to kind of wait and revisit it, so I'm bringing it back to your attention. Included in the packet is a quote to repair that lighting for Musco Lighting. The quote we have is $46,680. So kind of few questions. I know it's a loaded question, but do we want to proceed and go out for bid to do repairs? Would we rather consider upgrading to LED? I know one question previously asked was, what payment has been provided from insurance? The answer to that is nothing yet, because we haven't done anything with the work. So,
Do we know how much they allocated for that
They,
in the claim?
the claim states, asked for, a bid because they didn't know how much it was going to cost.
Okay.
I think we should do RFPs for this before we even consider the money. I mean, just see if it way surpasses what they're,
I mean, they won't go to LED, it has to be
Back
as is.
Yeah, yeah.
as is. But if we have a quote as is, they would pay up to that amount,
Yes.
and then if we wanna go to LED, we would have to pay
Pay
the
the
additional.
Yeah.
I just think we need to have it.
Well, and that's what I was gonna bring up, is if we are, if we were to consider going to the LED, which is going to, one thing, be more efficient, and potentially the bulbs last longer, if that would be true, and that would need to be checked out as well, then it would make sense to use whatever it is that we were gonna be allocated towards that. Because if in fact it was $40-some thousand, you know, or just shy of 50,000, then that's only 110,000 that we would need to do in the upgrade. I'm kind of like Raylene though. I'd like to, I mean, if we actually get the bids and see what we're looking at and then make our decision.
So do you want bids for both as is as well as LEDs?
I don't think it would hurt, because
No,
it's
yeah,
probably
I
gonna
think
be the same
We would
company.
need to do both.
Or
so
else
that
you're gonna
we
do
have-
one and not have the
Yeah, right.
information?
I do both from each company,
That's
have them
what I
do
would do.
one.
I would tell you, when I had my meeting last week with the board reps, and we talked about this, they were so excited, they said, you have to do LEDs, the light show at the Larned football game was awesome. And you'd be able to do that. So I told them I would pass that along because they're at the Amos Morris basketball tournament.
I just think it makes more sense, the more information you have, the better your decision will be.
And the quality of lighting is so much better with the LED, and
Mhm.
a lot of times those LED bulbs actually last quite a bit longer.
Until the
And if
next
that's
day
the
is
case. The other thing I'd have a question too is whenever we make a decision on this, if we do decide to go LED, I would be curious to know how long the lifespan is expected on those LED lights.
I do think it's great to get all the information, but I do think we need to keep in mind where it falls on our project list, and I do think we need to keep that in mind as we're looking to spend a large amount of money.
When was the hailstorm? When was the hailstorm?
May.
May 2024?
24, yeah.
I also think you can look to see what the lifespan would be of the regular lights.
As well as cost saving.
Yeah, costly.
Well, I know, I can tell you as those, they're probably metal halide bulbs in there, and when those transformers or ballasts go out, it is cheaper to put LEDs in. And then I'm sure most of those ballasts and stuff up there are probably all original.
Can you even get
And-
ballasts anymore?
You can, but they're higher than an LED bulb, because as ours go out in our shop, that's what I've been doing. And I'm doing it myself, I mean, it's real simple to change them over, but, yeah, I would like to see a cost estimate on both, and the other thing I like about the LED is they're on. When you turn them on, they're on. These other ones, you gotta wait 10 minutes for them to warm up, and I mean, out there, it's probably not that big a deal, but I know when you're working in a building that's closed up and you turn them on and you gotta wait that long, it's,
It's kind of like the gym
I
lights.
hate it.
Yeah.
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 Well, the efficiency too is,
Yeah.
it's tremendously better.
Okay.
So RFP for both?
For both, I would put one out for fixing it and then one for,
But I do agree with what Deanna said, let's keep it within our priority list. Because I do hear a lot of, oh my gosh, it's always the athletics. And I think we need to keep that in mind as well.
Well, the only thing that creates a sense of urgency here, though, is that recoups.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
we don't
absolutely.
wanna
And
lose
that's why I
that
think
insurance
the
money.
information needs to, I think
But
the
I think we
information's
need to-
great, just to see what, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what it looks like.
Are the original lights incandescent? The old incandescent bulbs?
They are right now.
They're metal halide.
Oh,
The other question I had is budgetary, or would we have the room?
We could probably find the room, I mean,
But let's just see what it says.
yeah,
Just don't wanna lose the insurance money.
right.
All right, letter F, pre-K expansion considerations.
Yes, at the beginning of the year, this is one of the talking points, even at district convocation. We made it known that we were going to at least explore the possibility of maybe adding a pre-K section. So Mrs. Ravel and I have kind of been tag teaming this topic. I sent a survey out to the community, and Mrs. Ravel has also been gathering information. So I'll share my portion, and then I'll pass it over to her so she can share as well. I do want to state before we get into this that I don't want any decision to be made tonight. This is truly information gathering, bringing it to you. Hopefully getting some questions to bring this back possibly next month. I am going to project this real quick, so go 1 second as I connect. I know it's in your packet, but people in the audience may want to see this as well. And I'll make it much bigger for you.
That would be
Thank you.
Okay, so I know this says 57, I just never changed that. I filled this out previously, and then I went back before I had a meeting with Simpson staff, and I didn't change that. So overall, we had 61 respondents. The first question was, if given the choice, which would you prefer the most? 54% of our respondents chose full day, 21% half day, and 24, roughly 25% either option. This one, I'll be honest, kind of shocked me. Would you be willing to pay a fee for preschool? And then dollars amounts were 100 to 150. 82% of our respondents said they would. One thing I think worth noting with preschool is the amount of materials they use in that classroom. We're constantly doing that. So if we did charge a fee, which is very common across the state for preschool programs, it would help us buy those annual materials and objects that they use in those classrooms. I asked the question, do you or will you have a child eligible? 17 people currently have a preschooler in the program, 31 will, and we even had 13 responses from people who will not, but I still think that's important.
You know, what I would like is if you could, on question number 2, willing to pay for a preschool, it would be nice if you could break it down into if they wanted full day, half day for the 80, or for the yes vote. Because that, I don't know if that would make a difference, but if you had full day, that would take away the childcare thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of the things I talk about. I could do that, it would take me a little bit of work, but I
think
could
that'd
break
be
it down.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I'm gonna make a note.
Okay. Gonna be the dog
Nope.
And then I'm going to be very honest with you. When you have 61 different people typing, there were a lot of different comments, all great comments. But what I did is I said, there's no way that I can accurately summarize this. So I copied every single comment and put it into ChatGPT, and I said, summarize this for me. And that's exactly what happened here. So what our community members said were advantages, and I won't read the whole thing. The very first one, it supports working families. I know that that was important to a lot of the people. They said we wouldn't have to pay for daycare, everything, and I think that's important for our community, knowing our population. Convenience and consistency, the financial relief, stronger kindergarten readiness, expanded learning opportunities, social emotional development, and stable structured environment. So I asked the complete opposite question, you know, what concerns do you also have? Again, ChatGPT was my friend, and this is what it summarized. It said the length of day and fatigue are a concern, developmental appropriateness, need for rest and balance, adjustment challenges, staffing and space, and then impact on local providers was something that was stated in there as well. I did put 3 different things that I think are important to know. Knowing our community and what's happened with childcare in recent years, you think that we kind of find our groove and then a preschool closes or a daycare closes. This would lighten the burden financially for a lot of our families, which I think would be important. Space was mentioned in there previously. Right now at Simpson Elementary, we do have 1 vacant classroom. That room is utilized though. I know that title groups and others in that building, they do like to utilize that space. It gives you a little more flexibility. But I am projecting next year with our numbers that it's a very good possibility, having 3 kindergarten sections, 3 first grade sections, that there would be 2 vacant rooms. So I would feel comfortable if we were to add a preschool classroom, that there is adequate space currently. One other thing that we need to remember, we would need a pre-K teacher, and you have to abide by the guidelines, 10-to-1 ratio. More than likely, you would also need another para-educator. So that's something to consider when you're looking at budget.
The only thing is if you go down to 3 sections of kindergarten and 3 of first grade, that would free up that position too for the.
Yep.
So.
Yep, absolutely. Before Mrs. Ravel, do you want me to project yours? I don't think I.
Oh, you can.
Okay, I'll have to go back in. The other thing that I want to say, and one of the reasons I really like being patient on this, I think the information gathering was extremely important, just hearing input. I even went and sat with Simpson staff, and it was great to hear their thoughts. It is their building. But during our public forum, there was a question asked of me, and I did answer honestly, if the bond were to pass and there was a storm shelter in another room at Simpson Elementary, a higher priority for me than adding a preschool section would be to make Simpson Elementary a K-2 building. It creates a better balance between the elementary schools. So that is also why I really don't like acting on this at all while we don't have a full picture of our facilities. And that's what's hard about bond elections, is that in the back of your mind, what happens if this were to pass? And it's hard to make any changes in that meantime because you don't know what your facility structure is going to look like. But I did want to state that a higher priority for me, if the bond were to pass and we had that room, would be to make that K-2. Now, if that doesn't come to fruition, and I know we have 2 vacant rooms, then by all means, I think it would definitely be something to consider moving forward, maybe for the 2020, what would that be, 28 school year? That's crazy to even throw those numbers out there, adding that preschool section. And Mrs. Ravel, I'll let you go.
Yeah, just to add some other things to what he's already shared, another advantage that I know Ms. Hamilton really spoke on was that the teacher would be focusing on 16 students rather than 32, and she felt like that was an obvious advantage to getting to know these students. A lot of these are repeats, so I don't want to sound redundant. When I met with Amanda Peterson, who's the early childhood director from KSDE, she talked a lot about how a full day offers flexibility and there's less sense of rushing to fit it all in. There's more time for play and all those things that we know are so beneficial to our students. She also talked about for at-risk families, the benefit of students receiving up to 2 meals a day and 1 to 2 snacks a day. For some of our kiddos, that would be time for them to have a guaranteed rest time, where a lot of our kids, after they leave us, we're not exactly sure what their afternoon looks like. And overall consistency in routines would be huge for kids who were there with us all day. As far as challenges, we talked a little bit about space. It could also impact some local preschools and daycares. And some families do feel like an all-day option might be too much. I do think you could have some flexibility there, that if a parent wanted to opt out after 1 o'clock or something like that, if they felt like it wasn't appropriate for them to be there all day, that might be something to consider. So I had a lot of conversations as well with districts who already have a full day program. You can see 3 of them are highlighted there. All of them were very pro a full day program and just could rant and rave about how helpful they felt like it was to their facilities in terms of supporting the community and eliminating the noon bus route and just some other things that we currently do. I think there are a lot of pros that could come with it. We also met with the building leadership team about it, and they had concerns about a full day and then maybe even adding break time on top of that, because we would want to offer something for those kiddos who need to stay all day, that could be a lot. And then the other implications about bathrooms and specials and lunch and some of those things you would need to consider. I met with the Russell Daycare Coalition as well and was able to share some information about the program and what we would be considering. They did share with me that there are 2 new facilities that are going to be opening in the next year or so that would open up multiple spots for 3 and 4-year-olds. So I do think that's something to consider. We met with the Early Childhood Advisory Committee. Almost all of those comments are repetitive. And then here's a little bit of financial information about if you wanted to charge a fee, yes, you could charge a fee. It'd be very similar to other grade levels who have a textbook fee or a technology fee or something like that. So yeah, just a breakdown of some of the advantages and challenges. I think there are definitely some of both. To echo what Mr. Perez said too, I think one of the benefits of me being at both buildings was that I really got to see how uneven the load is when you have that many more students at one elementary school than the other. And I can really see multiple benefits to moving 2nd grade to Simpson. I think that's something we should continue to discuss, so.
It was moved to Bickerdike about 17, 18 years ago.
Mhm.
Because I helped, because that was the year that I helped Jill move from Simpson over to Bickerdike. And I never quite understood why, but yeah.
What questions do you guys have, or what information would you like from Mrs. Ravel or myself to bring back next month if we want to revisit this?
One more document real quick that I wanted to mention. We did create a rough estimate for furniture that's included in there too. We're thinking roughly 10,000, 5,000 of which would be like a touch screen and the stand for that, because our current preschool program has that. So there's just a breakdown of some other additional costs you would need to consider when adding that program. And that's not including curriculum. You would need double the curriculum too, so we just wanted to mention that.
That was gonna be my question, what are we looking at cost-wise?
There is a grant opportunity, however, what was the date, January 8th?
Yeah, January 8th. And you could use it for equipment, you could use it for salaries. Obviously, it wouldn't be 100% of salaries because there's a formula of the amount we would get from the state and things like that. But definitely could use that for that, but.
Will that grant be available in another year? I mean, we're obviously not ready to make a decision.
The way it reads, I think it's open every year.
And it's been open for multiple
Yeah.
years,
Okay.
so.
So if we delay this decision,
Yep.
we aren't giving up
As-
an opportunity to pursue
Yeah,
it.
as long as the state funds it, so that's the whole caveat, but.
And if we delayed and we continued talking about this, I think there would actually be more opportunities, because you could go
Right.
back to that. It would give you time for Dane Hansen or CACF, just
Right.
other places to look as well.
So let me
Well, I think it's-
understand this, if you move the 2nd grade back to Simpson, that alleviates the preschool?
Well, it depends on how that was constructed. But yes, if it's just a one-room addition, then I wouldn't want to add a preschool section, because
Oh,
then
you
it would
wanna do an
prevent you
addition.
from moving
With the
K2.
With the bond.
And to me, K2 in that building is more important than the addition of a preschool.
But you mean keeping preschool?
Yeah,
When
we're
you
not
say-
getting
When you
rid of
say
pre.
K2, I just
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
clarify,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Sorry.
mean, yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I
I thought you were
keeping
saying
the
one
one
and not the other.
Sorry.
Right, not adding the additional full day.
Right.
Yep.
Well, it would free up rooms at Beckerdike where you could put a preschool over there.
The only thing is you have to think about the plumbing and the playground equipment
Well,
and
if the
all of
bond
that.
passes, that'll all be taken. Well,
Okay.
part of it will be.
Well, those are things to think about. We obviously aren't making a decision tonight. but-
Is there anything that you want us to research, look into, and bring back?
Just-
Okay.
Need time to digest.
Yeah, just digest it.
Okay, letter G, rolling printer bids.
Yes, we received 2 bids. I don't have that in my packet because
No.
Jane has those. But this is on the Patterson grant that we received this summer. One was for $33,000 and the other one was for $48,000. I suggest we go with the $33,000. They're both the same printer. Our budget was $34,000, so we're well within our budget with the $33,000. And we're a little over budget on some other items, so this being under budget will definitely help.
It was shipping from New Jersey.
Madam President,
Yes.
I make a motion that we accept the bid that has been presented from Grimco in the amount of $33,954.99.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the bid from Grimco for the amount of $33,954.99. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. Letter H, video board update.
Yes, Jason and I reached out to me today, and I think, like many of us, it's hard to believe that the end of the year is almost here. The end of the year is kind of that timeline that we gave ourselves to make a decision regarding this. So the update that he has given me, he said he needs 14 people to say yes to be able to make this come to fruition. As of today, he had 4 yeses, 1 no, and 2 maybes. And he has some other businesses that he has scheduled meetings to talk to this week. So he's gonna continue to give me updates, but I wanted to give you an update since that is gonna be coming up soon.
He has only 4 out of the 14?
Yes, yep. I don't remember what his exact figures were. He was gonna modify those a little bit, but he believes he needs 14 yeses to make it a possibility, and as of now, there are 4 yeses.
2 maybes.
2 maybes.
Is he asking a certain amount out of each person? Is that?
There's a scale.
They
Yeah,
choose, I think.
yeah, there are different packages. that
So
you
what
can
is our
choose from.
absolute final deadline that we have to make a decision so we don't lose the insurance that we got for our scoreboard?
Well, I can't get a definite answer out of them. They just keep telling me as long as we're working on it.
Trying.
Okay,
um,
so we're not gonna lose that by
No.
January 1.
Why is 5 years in my head?
Well,
Well,
5 years is what they told us. isn't it?
Yes, they said 5 years, but they just keep, they
How
won't
many
give
years
me
has
a
it been? It
dead,
seems like forever.
I know.
a drop
Oh,
deadline.
it seems like a whole
It
Drop
hasn't
date.
year.
been 2 years yet.
Oh, it's
No.
been
So-
like.
May
a year and a
18th
half.
will be 2 years.
So we're not gonna lose the insurance, but I do think we need,
Well, you
I
know,
think we need
But
to
they
make
might
a
get
decision.
impatient if we don't.
We need
get
to
this
make a
done,
decision by this spring, that way the work can happen over the summer.
you know.
yeah, I would say, give them more time, but yeah, I agree, by April, May, we need to know whether.
So we
we're
wanna-
I think you
we
need
wanna
to say a
extend.
date.
Well, we did.
We did
We told them
We
December,
said
December
December
31st.
I know,
31st.
but if you're gonna extend it, I mean, make a date.
April 15th.
Our-
But also, we gotta give contractors enough time, so starting in May or whatever, to go out for bid might be a little bit of an issue and too late.
Too late.
But I say, let's.
April 15th is not a good day.
April 1st,
March board
That's a good
meeting.
March board meeting.
March board meeting.
March board meeting, okay?
People
Yeah, you
have
better.
to pay their taxes.
April 1st is my birthday. It's a
March
good
board
date.
meeting.
Okay,
And I'll bring an update to you next month.
okay.
That scoreboard down.
We need to finalize that, and so, yeah, I agree, we can't just keep extending and extending, but, we
We're
gotta get
making
that.
progress.
Yeah. All right, letter I, Russell Junior Senior High parking lots.
We previously decided that we were gonna set $50,000 annually aside for parking lots around the high school. So this year was our first fiscal year of setting $50,000 aside. Next year would be another 50. The Circle Drive, the last time we got a quote for it, it was approximately $110,000. So question one, this is a two-part question. Question one is, if that's something that's still a priority, do we want to go ahead and go out for bid so that that can be completed 2 fiscal years? We'll have the money, knock it out over the summer. Or, second part of the question, do we need to reconsider our priorities now that you guys have ranked them, knowing that something like playground surfacing was a higher priority than parking lots, and reallocate those funds?
How much would the 110,000 do toward a playground resurface?
Let me,
Is that for both of the playgrounds, like Simpson and Bickerdike?
Well, that's what I'm asking, how much could we get done? One?
the
Well,
last,
at the last meeting, they had it brought up, and it's way less than 600,000 for both at the steering committee meeting. I think Simpson was like 175 and Bickerdike was 350. Is that right?
288 at Bickerdike.
I think they're gonna have to take it all the way down and start with a new base, because it's narrow, sorry.
I personally don't think the Circle Drive is not near as important as Simpson Playground. Those are our littles, and, you know, I really, if we could get Simpson done with that 110,000, plus maybe we could find a little bit more to kick in to totally do Simpson.
Are there grants?
Not necessarily for
Maintenance?
surfacing. For equipment, yes, but
Yeah.
surfacing, no. But,
Yeah.
you know, if we take that 100,000, the 50 and the 50, we're getting pretty good interest right now.
Sure.
I think we could probably do some.
I just think that's a way more priority than parking.
What kind of surface are they, when we're talking resurfacing, are they putting asphalt back down? Is that what they were?
Let me ask them what that fully entails,
Yeah.
and then we can just bring this back to next meeting.
Or is it that stuff like we put at Bickerdike? I
Those
have a
tile
hard
things.
time spending $170,000 to put asphalt back down just for our kids to go out there and scrape their knees back up.
Or wear their shoes
Let's
out.
dig it up and put sod in or something, that is my opinion, if that's what we're gonna do, or turf. Something soft.
Well, I wouldn't do sod.
No. Yeah, you don't want a muddy mess.
Hopefully we get rain, but most of it will be dusty, dry,
Yeah.
full of holes.
Can we, and this is just a question, can we replace turf at the high school? For the football field, can we reuse that turf, or does it have to be
Oh,
destroyed?
Yeah.
Let me ask.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
people, there's a lot of
I like
places
that,
that
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, if we could.
I will bring that back too.
I like that idea, Ron.
If we could, when we replace that, if we could move that and prepare for
Put it at
that,
Simpson.
because you're gonna have to have an infrastructure underneath that for
Yeah, you
that.
gotta have a good base.
Yeah.
So a lot of your, like, pro teams, they replace that every year, and they sell it, and you get online and find it, it's pretty cheap, pretty reasonable. You could buy somebody else's turf, it means ours isn't necessarily ready to be
I mean, that's
replaced
how-
right now.
That's how some of the high school,
That's how they're getting.
how they're getting them, is they
Yeah.
get the used.
So,
Gently used.
that's something that,
But that that subsurface that goes underneath that is, I mean, there's quite a bit that goes to that. There's drainage, there's
yeah,
prep, and there's.
that's the
That's
expensive
what's expensive,
part,
yeah.
is the
But
prep work.
You'd have to know what that cost would be.
It's like with anything else, you have to build a good foundation for it to
Yes.
maintain.
So the only other question would be, pending a bond, do we want to, would we want to wait till not do the playground until after we,
Well, it's
I know,
not,
the construction and.
That's not.
yeah, I get.
No, I agree. I know.
But if it's added on to, though,
Yeah.
it'll change the landscape, the dimensions.
And then the, you know,
Well, we can
Vehicles
still get a
and equipment.
quote, like an
sure,
estimate,
absolutely,
so we
no,
know.
for sure. Just something to consider.
Yeah.
And I would like to know what they were considering as a resurface, whether they were gonna put asphalt back down, that's the main thing, I mean,
Yeah.
if that's what we're doing, to me, it's a waste of money.
I mean, we've had asphalt on those playgrounds since forever, and I think that was the only, nothing's ever been since
Back then,
then.
That was the thing to do.
Well, it was an economical thing.
But yeah, I kind of agree with Brett, let's don't put something down that's hard surface that if we can go soft.
It does build character.
It also costs
And
for
memories,
stitches.
and memories, I've
Broken
got
bones.
some scars to prove it.
Yeah.
Katrina and I had this conversation the other day, because we recently ordered 2 more pallets of mulch. That mulch, it gets kicked out, thrown out, you're constantly cleaning it, you always have to replace it. I think at least a priority would be to do something similar to Bickerdike, where you do the pour over under your equipment, just so you don't have that mulch coming in and all the kids' shoes and constantly
And
replacing it.
there are cheaper companies than the one that they used at Bickerdike. For example, the one that we used at the park, the new park downtown, they were quite a bit cheaper than that other company. So we can get them a lot cheaper than that.
Yeah. We don't need that. Okay. All right, that brings us to 58-100 administrative reports. Anything to add to yours, Jordan?
Yes, I have 2 things with me, and you already spoke about it. But we have 2 awards for board members. Crystal Waymaster for her years of service, and also Raylene for her years of service. Also, please don't forget that you get to take these with you unless you think there's going to be a special board meeting between now and
No, you kept saying
January.
this, I kept
We'll leave
saying
it, just
to
in case you
Andrew,
come back.
it's my last board meeting, and then we'd have a special one.
Yeah.
Right, Andrew?
So you never know if that's going to be the
We'll
last
just bring it
one.
back with you if we have a special, okay?
But,
Well,
um,
unless there's any special meetings until December 31st, I'm yours.
I do want to speak a
Thank
little
you.
bit
Thank you.
about that, though. Thank you for everything you guys have done. It's no easy task sitting on the board and making the decisions that you're faced with. And Raylene, you've been on the board since I've been in the district,
Forever.
and I appreciate you and everything you've done for the
How many
district.
years, Raylene? I couldn't remember.
13 and a half
13,
years.
okay, thank you.
I came on board when there was, somebody resigned, so I went through the application process, and,
Crystal, how many years you?
4.
4.
And I just wanted to bring a different perspective to the board. You know, bring the teacher perspective. And that was one thing that I always thought of, and I think Nancy and Mandy will continue this, but you know, you don't want to get on a board and say you have an agenda, but I sort of did. Because I was always so disappointed in our base salary. Because when I quit teaching, even with my master's, I wasn't even taking home $45,000 a year. That wasn't even my contract. And so I always thought it was important that we recognize those teachers for all of that they do. But, so I did have an agenda. And only with Jordan and with Katrina helping us do the negotiations, we've been able to realize that for teachers. And I think that's important, really, really important. But what I kind of find funny is that I started out my life kind of in this building on 3rd floor. And, because that's, I mean, it was like my playground. This was my jungle gym playground thing, you know? And so I think it's funny that I end up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The only other thing that I would like to mention, this week's a big week for USD 407. We're hosting the Amos Morris basketball tournament. Busy days, going to be a very long week, but it's going to bring a lot of people to our community. And thank you to everyone who's helping work that. The event's huge and we couldn't do it without everyone stepping up to make this a possibility. So
Is
thank you.
tonight the night they're
Yes.
introducing the
So 6:30, the girls should have just tipped off, hopefully as long as they're on schedule. And then in between the girls' game and boys' game, the class 79 stage,
79.
they'll be
Well,
introduced.
it
So
wasn't
we
the class of
gotta
79.
eat quick and keep going,
It
guys.
wasn't the class of
Okay.
79.
All right,
Good luck.
administrative
I mean,
reports.
76,
Yes.
yeah.
Anything to add, Katie?
Nope.
Nothing to add, Ashley? And Dr. D? Anything to add to yours? No? All right, and Jay is, I'm sure, very busy.
He's stressing.
He's stressing. Katrina, Finance Director, anything to add? No? Food Service, not here. Maintenance Director, anything?
The only thing I wanted to, what I read on the maintenance was that we need to change the sign in the,
Yeah.
in
The
the,
Rubenthal?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're the one to do that, right?
Yeah, I'll get on it.
Okay, I
We'll
figured
get
you
it
would,
fixed.
thank you.
Uh,
Oh, and
tech-
did we get the name changed at the top of the high school with the hyphen? There's no hyphen.
They messed it. It still looks good.
That's the first thing I noticed when I drove by, I'm going,
Me
oh,
too.
Raylene, go.
Somebody did that
That's-
and just draw.
Just draw it.
That's why I told on myself last
You
week.
did, you did.
All right, Technology Director, anything? No? Transportation, no? Student reps, not here?
They're playing.
Oh, yeah. All right, and Ron said that the Foundation Committee did not meet, so we don't need 58-101
Yeah, we'll meet Thursday, so.
board reports, committee reports. So I would suggest do we want to do a recess?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan, what do you think? No? You
That's
gotta
all right.
hurry.
I wanna go watch basketball.
We'll move through this quickly.
Well, we can
I was
eat
gonna
during our
eat.
Yeah.
superintendent evaluation. So just take enough time, recess to make a plate, and then we'll go in.
All right, let's do a 5-minute recess, then we'll go into our executive session for superintendent contract.
Okay.
Harris.
All right, go ahead.
Madam President.
Yes.
I move we go into executive session to discuss the superintendent's contract pursuant to non-elected personnel exception under Kansas Open Meetings Act. The open meeting resuming in the boardroom in 10 minutes? 10 or 15?
Let's go 15.
15 minutes.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We'll go into executive session to discuss the superintendent's contract pursuant to non-elected personnel exception under coma with open meeting resuming in the boardroom in 15 minutes. All in favor?
He was my history.
And we'll probably invite you in later, Georgia.
All right.
Kathy said yes.
Show no action was taken.
Yeah.
Does that feel good?
Okay. Madam President?
Yes.
I move we go into executive session to discuss staffing pursuant to non-elected personnel under coma. Where's the, with the open meeting, resuming in the boardroom in 15 minutes to include Dr. Debbie Wolf and Mr. Burns.
Second? Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we go into executive session to discuss staffing pursuant to non-elected personnel exception under coma, with the meeting to resume in 15 minutes to include Dr. D and Mr. Perez. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. Okay, let the record show no action was taken. We are going to take a 10-minute recess.
No.
Jane, let the record reflect no action was taken. I'll let you run.
Mr. Vice President,
Yes.
make the motion that we accept the following new contracts, work agreements. Crystal Chapman, CAPS Assistant, Bickerd Ike Elementary School. Kian Miller, Wrestling Assistant Coach at Russell Junior Senior High School grade 7 through 12. Damian McConnell, Wrestling Assistant Coach at Russell Junior High School. Contract modifications, George Gibson from Wrestling Assistant Coach to Wrestling Head Coach, Russell Junior High School. And Beth Pfeiffer from co-FFA sponsor
Two full-time.
to FFA sponsor.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the following, or the new contracts as presented and contract modifications as presented. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? 4-0.
Mr. Vice President, I make the motion that we adjourn.
Second it.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Albert, sorry I couldn't.